This is an outdoor microfilter pump, quite a small one. And one of the problems you always have when you're out venturing in the wild, of course, is a supply of water. Water is very heavy to carry, so if you can use water that you can find, so much the better. So here's the instruction book that shows you how to service the pump. Here's the pump itself. Together with some tubes. Now, I know that you use a tube to draw the water out of the water source and another tube to deliver it to your drinking vessel. So I guess I better just read up and find out how to do it. So I've got here the various bits and pieces that make up the inlet pipe. I'm holding the float in my hand there, and there's a little metal sinker there. And then here is something called the pre-filter. It looks to me to be just an ordinary piece of aluminium that has a hole through it about the same diameter as the pipe. So I'm not quite sure what purpose it holds other than to hold the sinker on. I did find that it was really difficult to push the tube over the end, so I tried this idea with boiling water. I have to say I don't think it worked. I think eventually I just got a bit better at pulling the pipe over the little end pieces, and with a bit of practice you will probably find that you can do it too. Right. Yeah, so you push the intake pipe on at the bottom here, and you push this end over this thing, just as it seems to be a bit more difficult to get this one to expand out far enough. Seems to just be a piece of plastic with a hole in it. I'm not quite sure what it does other than hold the sinker on. I'm finally managing to push this on. I left it in the cup for a little while to warm up, and then I sort of pushed and pulled, and it finally started to slide over. And as you can see, I've got it most of the way over now, and so the sinker will now sit there, and that should hold it under the water so that you can pump water through the filter. So the idea is you pop this into your source of water that you're going to try and purify, pump the water up through this thing, and then it's delivered through this short tube here into whatever receptacle you want to deliver it into. And then when you've finished filtering, you need to backwash through the filter with some clean water with this thing, just to take any particles and things out. You undo the top here to get the filter out. This is the large O-ring that seals it here, and there's a small O-ring somewhere else. This is the activated charcoal filter at the bottom. So the backwash just pushes some water back through this assembly here, just to remove any dirt from the filter at the bottom. And we've got inside here. Just be careful when you're putting it back together not to cross thread this big thread here, because that would not be good for it at all. So I didn't get a chance to try out this Super water pump water filter pump when I was on my wild camping weekend, well, bushcraft weekend really, the other day. So I'm just going to try it now, and it does say in the instructions, obviously you should try and find the cleanest water you can, because if you get really mucky water it will clog the filter up quickly. So here's some water from the water butt. It's got a very, very slightly green tinge to it, and I certainly wouldn't drink it as it is. So now let's see if we can pump it into this other glass here. Oops. You normally put it into a bottle, I guess. I'm trying to put it into a glass is a bit difficult, so I can hold it with both hands now. Here we are, and the water's now coming through. It's coming through reasonably quickly. I've already got half a glass. So you can see the levels going down in one and coming up in the other. So let's have a look at this and see what it looks like. It looks okay and tastes perfectly acceptable. Slightly free of the slight chemical taint you'd normally expect. This has got an activated charcoal filter in it, and it also a mechanical filter, so I need to back flush it later to get rid of the dirt from the mechanical filter. But you can pump an awful lot of water through before you need to clean the filter, especially if you start off with water that's not too dirty. So a flowing stream or something is a good place to get your water from, somewhere where the water's probably clean enough to drink anyway. Very nice. So to back flush the filter, unscrew it, take it out, grab a cylinder full of clean water and just pump it through just to remove any particles of dirt that are in the bottom of the filter, and then once it's dried it's ready to be put back together for next use. Might as well just empty out the remainder of the water from the water butt that's still in there and give it a quick rinse. And obviously rinse out the pipes, because there's not much point in having water filtration equipment if you don't keep it clean.